Hi everyone, I'm Candy from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you the Little Prince Wind Chime, Fox Edition. This product is divided into several parts. The main part, Decoration 1, Decoration 2, the toy and assembly. Let's start with the main part. It includes the moon and the inner pocket. After everything is completed, proceed with the assembly. Let's start by learning the moon. Begin with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The stitch techniques used include VSC 2 in 1, X stitch single crochet, slip stitch and chain. Please watch the demonstration. First, let's take a look at the chart. In the chart, R plus number indicates the round number. H plus number indicates the row number. The stitch instructions column describes the stitches and increases or decreases. When working the current round, the total stitches column shows the total number of stitches. After completing all the stitches in the current round, get the yarn. I'm using cotton yarn for this demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the charts. First, using the magic ring method to start. Start with a yarn over and make an adjustable loop with your finger. Now work the first round. R1 is 8x. The number before the X tells you how many single crochets to make. This means you'll work 8 single crochets into the starting ring. First, make 1 chain as the beginning chain for the single crochet. This beginning chain isn't marked in the chart. In reality, when crocheting in rounds, you need to work a beginning chain at the beginning of each round. The beginning chain does not count as a stitch. Then start working the X stitch single crochet, insert into the magic ring. Place the hook above the yarn. Then draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, draw through in one go. 1 X stitch single crochet is completed. There's a V shape formed by 2 yarn strands at the top right. This is the stitch of a single crochet. Let me demonstrate again. Insert into the loop. Place the hook above the yarn. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through in one go again. Another X stitch single crochet is completed. From now on, we'll simply call it a single crochet. Next, pick up the magic ring and crochet 6 single crochets. Unless otherwise specified, all single crochets will be X stitch single crochets. Continue crocheting. Check the stitch count after completing this round. Once it's correct, close the magic ring. Simply pull tight the starting yarn tail. The loop is now closed. Next, on the first single crochet of this round, work 1 slip stitch to finish. Find the first single crochet. Pick the stitch from the upper right side. You can also count the stitches from back to front. Insert. Work 1 slip stitch. This is the chain formed by the slip stitch. The slip stitch does not count as a stitch, need to tighten it to avoid adding extra stitches later. This slip stitch is not indicated in the table. In actual crocheting in rounds, each round should end with a slip stitch and tighten it. This completes the first round. Now move on to the second round. R2 is 8V. The number before V indicates how many SC2 in 1 to work. It means working 8 SC2 in 1 in a row. Start with a chain 1 to begin. Let me emphasize again. The beginning of each round starts with a beginning chain. I won't repeat this explanation later. On the first single crochet of the previous round, work 1 SC2 in 1, that is the insertion point of the slip stitch. Work 2 single crochets. As you crochet, keep the starting yarn tail above the hook. Weave in as you go along. 1 stitch. 2 stitches. The SC2 in 1 is completed. Continue making a SC2 in 1 on the left stitch. Don't forget to weave in the yarn tail. The second SC2 in 1 is completed. This round requires a total of 8 SC2 in 1. The remaining 6 all follow the pattern of 1 SC2 in 1 per stitch. Use the method of making 2 single crochets in the same stitch. After completing the last SC2 in 1, please check the stitch count. You can count the stitches again by going backward. There are a total of 16 stitches in this round. The total number of stitches for each round is clearly marked in the corresponding chart. I won't explain this further from now on. Next, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Make sure to pay attention. After finishing each round, always join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. Tighten after the slip stitch is completed. Cut off the excess yarn tail from the starting chain directly, or you can leave it here as stuffing. The second round is complete. Continue crocheting round 3. R3 is worked by making a SC2 in 1 in each stitch of the previous round. The crochet method is the same as round 2, only the stitch count is different. Once completed, let's move on to crochet round 4. In this round, the chart shows 3x, V, asterisk 8. The parentheses here indicate a group. The asterisk number indicates how many times to repeat the pattern. First, make 1 beginning chain. Then, work 1 single crochet into the insertion point of the slip stitch from the previous round. Next, work 2 single crochets downward. 1 SC2 in 1. 1 group of 3x, V, is done. I'll demonstrate another group. First, work 3 single crochets in sequence. Then work 1 SC2 in 1. This is the second group. This round requires repeating 3x, V, 8 times. For the remaining 6 repetitions, follow the method of 3 single crochets and 1 SC2 in 1. Continue crocheting downward. Finally, join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. Pull tight. With that, round 3 is completed. Take a look. The right side has a clear texture, while the back side has a blurry texture. We'll use the clearer texture side as the right side of the entire piece. Next, we'll work on round 5. First, work 2 single crochets in sequence. Then work 1 SC2 in 1, followed by 2 single crochets. 1 group, 2x, V, 2x is completed. Let me demonstrate another group. Work 2 single crochets first. Then work 1 SC2 in 1. Continue with 2 single crochets. This is the second group. Keep crocheting following the same method as before. Once everything is done, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. That completes round 5. This is because starting from round 3, we increased more stitches. It's normal for the work piece to be uneven. Let's check. On the right side, one raised texture represents one round. Count these textures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far we've worked 5 rounds. From round 6 to round 15. Everyone can continue using the same method as before. Just follow the chart. Now I'll use this sample to demonstrate how to work round 16. The chart shows V, 15x, 15x, V, asterisk 3, asterisk 2. The meaning of here is the same as make one beginning chain. According to the chart, work 1 SC2 in 1 first. Then work the corresponding number of single crochets. After that, follow the pattern, work 15 single crochets first, then 1 SC2 in 1, repeat this 3 times. After completing this group inside the curly brackets, one set of stitches is done. Continue to work another group. First work 1 SC2 in 1. Then work the corresponding number of single crochets. After that, follow the pattern, work 15 single crochets first, then 1 SC2 in 1, repeat this 3 times. Finally join with a slip stitch. This completes round 16. The following rounds are worked according to the previous demonstration. Refer to the chart and crochet the corresponding stitches. I've already finished mine in advance. Leave a yarn tail about 3 times the length of the final round for sewing. Pay attention to work 1 chain to secure at the end, to prevent the loops from slipping off. Set it aside for now. That's all for the moon crochet method. Next, Let's learn how to make the inner pocket. Begin with a foundation chain. Work back and forth in rows. Once completed, sew the sides together. Finally sew it to the moon. Please watch the demonstration. First, make 9 chains to begin. Then start from the second stitch from the hook. Pick up 1 strand on the top of each chain and work 8 single crochets. Here, you can work regular single crochets. That means placing the hook below the yarn. Simply yarn over and crochet. From now on, except where specified, use only X-stitch single crochet. For the rest of the rounds, you may choose your preferred single crochet technique. This completes the first row. Next, let's work the second row. Make 1 chain. Turn your work. Work even by picking up the bottom loops only. Pay attention, since the piece is turned, the stitch corresponds to the top left corner position. This completes the second row. Continue to the third row. This row is worked in the same way as the second row. Make 1 chain. Turn your work. Pick up the bottom loops and work 1 single crochet in each stitch. This completes the third row. The following rows will follow the same technique as the third row. Follow the chart to complete the remaining rows. Once the rows for the inner pocket are completed, take out the light string. Fold the piece in half. Check if it can wrap around the light string. If not, adjust the row count. Leave a long yarn tail for sewing at the end. Due to yarn differences, my row count and stitch count are for reference only. To make sewing easier later on, you can use thread here. Mark the first stitch and last stitch of the first row. Also mark the first and last stitch of the final row. Then proceed with assembly. Thread the reserved yarn tail from the inner pocket into the sewing needle. After folding the piece in half, sew the side edges together. Leave the starting point and the last row unsewn for now. Only sew along the folded edge. There's no specific sewing method required, just make sure it's securely sewn. Once one side is done, weave the yarn tail over to the other side. When completed, weave in the ends. Then take out the moon. My sample round count here is not for reference, just demonstrate the method. Fold along the slip stitch marks. Sew the front and back stitches together using whip stitch. Add stuffing appropriately as you sew. Keep sewing until reaching the middle position. Take out the inner pocket and place it inside the moon. Then sew along the inner pocket opening. Pay attention to sew one side first. Once the inner pocket is secured in position, weave the yarn through the piece to transition. Sew the other side. When done, sew the moon piece together as well. Remember to add appropriate stuffing while sewing. The string light can be placed inside the inner pocket. Continue sewing. Sew until the end. Don't worry whether the stitch count is odd or even. Just finish sewing. Finally, tie off and weave in the ends. This completes the assembly of the main part. Next, let's learn how to add decorations. They are flower 1, flower 2, flower 3 and leaves. Crochet them in order. Let's start with flower 1. Begin with a foundation chain. Crochet back and forth in rows. The new stitches used are F double crochet, E treble crochet, FT are 2 in 1, and EWT are 3 in 1. Please watch the demonstration. For row 1, follow the starting chain of the inner pocket piece, and crochet using the same method as row 1. Once completed, let's crochet row 2. The table shows parentheses. The stitches in parentheses are worked into the same position. Make 3 chains to start. Turn the work. These 3 chains correspond to the last single crochet of the previous row. Work 1 double crochet into this stitch. 1 treble crochet. Yarn over the hook twice. Insert into the same stitch, where the previous double crochet was made. Yarn over and draw through. Yarn over again, and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat 3 times. This completes 1 treble crochet. Work 2 more treble crochets into the same position. Work 1 double crochet into the same position. This completes the stitches in parentheses. Work 1 single crochet into the left stitch. Next in the chart is K, which means skip 1 stitch. Work 1 double crochet into the left stitch. Repeat 3 treble crochets into the same position. Continue working 1 double crochet into the same position. Work 1 single crochet into the left stitch. This completes a group of stitches in parentheses. From the skipped stitch to the current stitch makes 1 group. The following part is to repeat this group. Everyone follow the chart and finish this row. This completes row 2. Now let's work on row 3. Make 2 chains. It doesn't count as 1 stitch. Turn the work. Work 1 treble crochet into the last stitch of the previous row. Work a Pt2 and 1 into the left stitch. Meaning work 2 treble crochets into the same position. This completes the Tr2 and 1. Work a Tr3 and 1 into the next stitch. Meaning work 3 treble crochets into the same position. One, 2, 3. This completes the Tr3 and 1. Then work the symmetrical stitch of this Tr3 and 1 on the right side. Work a Tr2 and 1 in each of the following stitches. Work 1 treble crochet. Chain 2. Work 1 single crochet on the left side after completing. After that, follow the previous demonstration, and refer to the chart to finish this row. This completes row 3. Leave a long yarn tail for sewing. Roll the flower inward from the edge. Align the starting side. Thread the reserved yarn tail through the yarn needle. Then secure the base with a few stitches using the reserved yarn. First, move the yarn to the starting position. Just make sure it doesn't come apart. You can tie a knot to secure it at the end. Don't cut the yarn. Set it aside for now. Any excess yarn can be woven away. That's all for flower 1. Everyone, follow the crochet method of flower 1. Refer to the chart to crochet flower 2 and flower 3. Set it aside once completed. That's all for the crochet method of the flowers. Next, let's crochet the leaves. Take the yarn. Start with a chain. Once completed, from the second to last stitch, pick up one strand on the top of the chain, then work one single crochet, 2 half double crochets, 3 double crochets, 2 half double crochets, 1 SC2 in 1, 1 CH1 SL picket. The method is, first, make a chain. Then pick up the front loop of the single crochet in front. And make a slip stitch with the strand on the left side. You don't need to tighten it. That completes the CH1SL picket. At the same position as the previous SC2 in 1, work another SC2 in 1, crochet while rotating the piece. Now moving to the other side of the chain. Pick up the remaining 2 strands of the chain to crochet. Which is the insertion position for the stitches on this side. Work 2 half double crochets in sequence. Be mindful not to insert into the same position as the previous SC2 in 1. Continue with 3 double crochets in sequence. Two half double crochets. One SC2 in 1. Finally join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Leave a 30 cm yarn tail at the end for sewing. That's all for the crochet technique for the leaves. Follow the earlier method to complete the remaining quantity of leaves. Set them aside once done. Next, let's learn decoration 2, which includes planets, clouds, small flowers, and stars of various sizes. Simply follow the steps in order. The planet is made up of a main body and a ring. The starting method for the main body is the same as that for the moon. Only the stitch count differs. Follow the main body chart and keep crocheting until the 4th round is completed. I've already finished mine ahead of time. Pay attention to keep the right side facing out, which is the clearer texture side. Now let's crochet the 5th round. Make 1 beginning chain to start. The table shows 2 4x even. It means working single crochets evenly. Each round has 24 stitches. The total stitches are the same as the previous round. When you encounter this format later, it means the same thing. Once completed, join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. This completes the 5th round. The 6th round is worked the same as the 5th round. One stitch to another, crocheting in the same way. This completes the 6th round. Now let's crochet the 7th round. Make 1 beginning chain. In the chart, BLO stands for back loop only. Each stitch has 2 strands. The strand closer to you is called the front loop. The strand farther from you is called the back loop. This round is worked even by picking up the back loops and making single crochets. Mark the front loop of the first stitch with a thread, to make it easier to find the first stitch in the next round. This entire round is worked by picking up the back loops. Finally, pick the first stitch, and make a slip stitch to join. This completes round 7. Continue to round 8. First, make 1 single crochet. The next stitch is a SC2 tog. First, insert into the front loop of the first stitch. Then insert into the front loop of the stitch on the left. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remain. Yarn over, draw through once. SC2 tog completed. This method of picking up only the front loops, when decreasing, is called an invisible decrease. When crocheting this way, the gaps between stitches are smaller. The piece looks more delicate overall. Make 1 single crochet in the next stitch. This completes a group of stitches in the chart. I'll demonstrate one more group. Start with one single crochet, then make a SC2 tog on the left side. The hook goes through the front loops of the next two adjacent stitches. Yarn over, draw through the first two loops. Repeat this process twice. SC2 tog completed. Make one single crochet in the next stitch. This completes the second group of stitches. Everyone follow this method. Continue working around until this round is complete. This completes round 8. Take an appropriate amount of fiberfill, stuff it into the piece. Once completed, for the following rounds, everyone can crochet according to the chart. Add a little fiberfill as you go. Leave a 20 cm yarn tail at the end. Thread the yarn needle. And close the opening. Insert the needle through the front loops of the last round stitches one by one. Finally, gently tighten. This way the opening is neatly closed. Then tie off and weave in the ends. Next, let's crochet the halo. With round 1 facing you, insert the hook into the position marked as the first stitch. Take the corresponding yarn. Make a slip knot. Insert the hook into the knotted loop. Adjust the loop size. Joining the yarn is completed. Make one beginning chain. Work one single crochet at the joining position. Pick up the front loop on the left side, and make one SC2 in 1. One group of stitches is completed. Continue picking up the front loops, and work one single crochet one by one. 1 SC2 in 1. This completes the second group of stitches. The following steps will be based on the previous demonstration. Refer to the chart and crochet until the last stitch. Do not join with a slip stitch to the first stitch after completing. Leave a 15 cm yarn tail directly. Pull it out. You'll need to do an invisible bind off. This will look neater. Thread the yarn through the sewing needle. Pass through the first stitch. Then go back through the center of the last stitch. Adjust the size. That's how you finish binding off. Weave the yarn tail properly. That's all for the crochet method of the planet. After finishing the halo, embroider line segments on top. On the stitches of the third round. On the stitches of the sixth round. And embroider on the 2 rounds below the halo. Cut a piece of yarn in the corresponding color. Insert the needle from any position. One line segment covers 2 stitches or 1 single crochet. Finally, weave the yarn tail. That's how the line segments on the planet are embroidered. Next, let's learn how to make the cloud. Take the yarn. Start with a chain. After completing, begin from the third to last stitch. Pick up the back ridge to crochet. The front side of the chain looks like a V shape made of 2 threads. The thread on the back is called the back ridge. Row 1 is to pick up the back ridges, and work 6 single crochets in each stitch. Start crocheting from the third to last stitch. 1 SC2 in 1. That completes the first row. You can see the starting point also forms a V-shaped loop like this. Next, move on to row 2. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the work, pick up the stitches from the previous row, and work 6 single crochets in each stitch. One SC2 in 1. Skip 1 stitch and leave it unworked. That completes the second row. Continue to crochet the third row. Make 1 turning chain. Turn the work. Skip 1 stitch and leave it unworked. Work 1 half double crochet in the left stitch. 3 single crochets. 1 SC2 tog. Use a regular SC2 tog here. Insert the hook into the left stitch, and pull the yarn through. Then insert into the next stitch and pull the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all loops at once. This completes the regular SC2 tog. Skip the last stitch. That completes the third row. Now let's crochet the final row. Make 1 turning chain. Turn the work. Skip 1 stitch. Work 1 half double crochet. 1 double crochet. Work 1 half double crochet in the left stitch. 1 chain. Make 1 slip stitch in the same position. Don't pull it too tight. That's the end of the instructions for crocheting the cloud piece. A total of 2 pieces are needed. Fasten off the yarn normally at the end of one piece. Leave a 30 cm yarn tail at the end of the other piece for sewing. Thread the reserved yarn into a yarn needle. Overlap the 2 pieces. A little glue can be applied to secure them. Then use a whip stitch to sew them together. Pick up the edges of the pieces and sew using whip stitch. Everyone should sew around the entire edge. Weave the yarn tails after completing the sewing. That's all for making the cloud piece. Set it aside for later use. Next, let's learn how to make the small flower. Take the yarn. Start with an adjustable magic ring. Complete the ring. Work 2 chains as beginning chain. Then in the chart you see 3TQ. This stands for a HDC3 puff. The crochet method is to work 3 unclosed half double crochets first. Work the first one. Yarn over once. Insert into the loop. Yarn over and pull through. 1 unclosed half double crochet is completed. Work 2 more unclosed half double crochets in the same position. Finally, yarn over once, and pull through all loops. The HDC3 puff is completed. Then work 2 chains as a transition. Make 1 slip stitch into the starting magic ring. This completes one group of stitches. I'll demonstrate another group. First, work 2 chains. 1 HDC3 puff, which means working 3 unclosed half double crochets first. Finally, yarn over and pull through all loops at once. The HDC3 puff is completed. Continue with 2 chains as a transition. 1 slip stitch. This completes the second group in the sequence. For the following part, just follow this demonstrated group. Refer to the chart to finish this round. Cut the yarn. Pull the ring tight. That's all for the crochet method of the small flower. Take the thread for embroidering the flower core. About 30 centimeters in length. Thread the needle. Insert into the center position. Leave a small tail at the end. Hold the needle close to the piece. Wrap the thread around the needle 2 to 3 times. Then bring the needle out from the center position. Pay attention. Pick up a little thread to secure. This prevents the flower core from being pulled out. When done, wrap around 2 to 3 more times on the other side. Bring it out from the center position. Finally, weave all the yarn tails. Apply glue at the bottom of the flower core, and the small flower is complete. Everyone, crochet 1 more. Set it aside for now. Next, let's talk about the different sizes of stars. There are 5 types of star sizes. I'll start with star 1. Take out the yarn. Begin with an adjustable magic ring. Make 1 beginning chain. Work 1 slip stitch in the ring. You can pick the V-shaped loop of the slip stitch to mark. When done, work 2 chains. Don't make the chains too tight. Keep them slightly loose. Start from the last chain. Pick the back ridge and work 1 slip stitch. One single crochet. When done, work 1 slip stitch in the starting ring. We'll consider the first chain to the current stitch as one repeat. I'll repeat one more sequence. First, work 2 chains. Mind that the chains aren't too tight. On the second to last, work 1 slip stitch. 1 single crochet. Work 1 slip stitch in the ring. With that, the second sequence is complete. Continue crocheting. Skip the last slip stitch of this final round. We need to make 2 pieces total. Finish one with a normal fasten off. Leave a 30 cm yarn tail at the end. Pull the yarn through. Then tighten the starting yarn tail. Tighten the center of the piece. Insert the hook into the marked position. Pull the reserved yarn through. Then insert into the last stitch. Pull the yarn through. Give it a little tidy up. Remove the marker yarn. Stretch out the 5 corners like this. Separate one strand from the reserved yarn. Weave the extra yarn into the piece. Thread the separated strand into the sewing needle. Place the 2 star pieces with their wrong sides facing each other, front sides out. Find the slip stitch and insert into it. Then start sewing by picking up the edges. Fasten off and weave in the ends after completing. That's all for the crochet method of star 1. Star 2 doesn't involve any new stitches or techniques, just follow the chart to crochet. Pay attention to the star piece. The last stitch needs to be joined with a slip stitch to the first stitch. The two pieces need to be sewn together. The method is the same as for star 1. I've already prepared mine in advance. Now let's demonstrate the crochet method for star 3. For the first round, crochet according to the chart first. I've already prepared mine here. Next, crochet the second round. First, work 3 chains. Start from the last chain. Pick up the back ridge and make 1 slip stitch. One single crochet. 1/2 double crochet. After completing that, skip the second stitch of round 1. Make 1 slip stitch in the third stitch. This completes one group of stitches. Let me demonstrate another group. First, work 3 chains. Then start from the last stitch. Pick up the back ridge and make 1 slip stitch. 1 single crochet. 1/2 double crochet. After completing that, skip 1 stitch in the first round below. Make 1 slip stitch in the next stitch. This completes the second group of the sequence. The following is just repeating the demonstration of the second group. Refer to the chart and complete this round. Pay attention that the last slip stitch of this group should be worked in the first stitch position. A total of 2 pieces need to be crocheted. One piece is finished with a normal cut of the yarn. Leave a long yarn tail on the second piece for sewing. The sewing method is the same as for star 1. Please sew star 3 properly. That concludes the demonstration for making star 3. For the remaining star sizes, follow the previous demonstrations. Refer to the chart and crochet accordingly. That's all for the crochet method of the stars. Once completed, set it aside for now.